I don't know, really know how to start a video like this, honestly. No, no, because this is nah, because this is mainly for you guys, everyone here in the Stormcurtain guild. So honestly, this is gonna just be like an overview of just the plar, my plar with all of like the builds. Like this is gonna include like group comp. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could do like that. Or I could just have you in the chat, have you in the clip saying all that stuff. So this is gonna be like the build for both solo, group, for Stam and Mac. Just gonna go quickly over uh, the attribute points, where to normally slot them, uh, the different type of gears for either group comp or solo, or even for BGs. And also I'll do the same thing for the sets. So here in the attribute points, this is going to be my base solo. Wait, am I on my base solo? No, I am not. I am on the group comp right now. So forgive me. I'm not used to doing this. I have my attributes set up to have at least a minimum of 30k health. I'm an orc, so I don't have that much. Uh, what's it called? Racial passives. So I have to put in only 24. You can go higher. You can go lower. But if you go lower, you just have to be a little bit more careful. Um, then I put the rest into stamina because it is mainly a stamina-based character, at least for this build. Uh, Stats look kind of low because I'm on the back bar, but if I fully buff up on the front bar, these are the stats, and on the back bar, that's the stats. There is n- not really rocking really high recovery. Sorry, resistances. Mainly because this is, like I said, this is for group comp, and this is usually when you have like a healer in your team or you have a lot of cross healing. Uh, I'm also a stage 3 vamp with the Thief boon because I am building into crit a lot. So going into the skills, I'm going to skip sets because I'm going to go over the reasoning behind the skills after. The I'm gonna go be reasons for the sets after the skills. So on the back bar, it's gonna look weird for a Stamplar to be running Eye of the Storm. However, because of my main set, it's this amplifies the damage of this. Obviously, gotta have the Resolving Vigor for the minor resolve. I currently have Honor the Dead. I don't normally have this for group comp, like high quality group comp, but I normally would have the contingency with double heal and minor force. I'll go over it in a second. Then I have rune focus with extended ritual, Nelly sus. On the front bar, I have power of the light, Templar staple. I have camouflage hunter, toppling charge. I have the nerfed jabs, but honestly, the jabs still work fine with this build, especially the way I have it set up. And then Radiant Glory, specifically the glory to give yourself health and also gain some back magicka when you're just beaming someone. And then I have the DB, of course. So, like I said earlier, I have this as the, the group comp because I had this for group comp because for cross healing. These two are the most important for when you're cross healing between groups, or if you have a dedicated group healer, then you're just applying this. You're applying this to everyone. You're giving everyone minor force. It doesn't say it there, but it will apply it to you as well. Because I, I don't know why it doesn't say it properly. But whatever, you know. I am wrong. I just read that again. This is why I'm not good at making videos. Either way. So, if you are not running the group, the only thing I would recommend doing is just switching this to Out of the Dead and probably dropping, depending on where you're running, if you're running an IC or if you're running BGs, depending on your team, I would swap off Power of the Light for Living Dark for just a little bit more extra healing for yourself. But as it stands, this is for group. Now, to go to the for the sets, the reason why I'm using Eye of the Storm and I'm still using jabs, damn, is because I'm still using the tried and true Deadly. Deadly has always been the Templar's best set, even before and after the nerf to both jabs and Deadly. It's still viable. And the final piece, the 5 piece, increase your damage gen with overtime damage over time and channeled attacks. That will include the Eye of the Storm. So you're doing just extra more damage with the Eye of the Storm. And then back bar, because this is a group comp build, I'm running Rallying. If your team already has a Rallying in the group, I would suggest dropping it for. Oops, wrong place. DLC zones. Sorry, I'm not prepared for this, but you drop it for Phoenix Moth, just so we could have like an easier uh, application for Courage and Force to the group. If your healer is already applying that, or someone else is already applying that, I would suggest sticking to Wretched Vitality, just to keep yourself top off with resources, because this is not a really easy build, because you can't just dump all your abilities. You have to be really like tactical of when you push. And on the back bar for the rallying, I usually put either I put Drain Magicka or Escapist. Right now I'm using Magicka because I like that little bit extra Magicka I get. Of course, using Balorgs, having a 300 Balorg proc for the Eye of the Storm, it just wipes groups. Especially if you're running with a group having a healer and then you have a bomber or someone who just pulls them, it will just drop them like flies. Of course, the One Piece trainee, gotta have that. And then Rally and the belt, and then the rest deadly. If you can, don't be running divines. Run another 2 pieces of well fitted, or if you feel like you need to be a little bit more tanky, switch this to reinforced, and also switch this one to be reinforced and then heavy. But as it stands, I'm running only one heavy, five five medium, and one light. If you need the more tankiness, go switch these to heavy and reinforced. For the mythic, I'm using Saint and Seducer, tried and true PvP set. It's just, it's hard not to use it, honestly. If you don't have access to that, I would suggest using either Markin. Markin is still really great for the Plar, or DDF. Either or is fine. And ideally, you will have all weapon spell damage glyphs, but because I have multiple builds for this character and my space is already like at 178 and I keep going the wrong way. Because I have so many builds on this specific character, because this is both my PvE and PvP character, I have all these builds here that I just don't care about one glyph being wrong. Try to save space. Now, to champion, for PvP, the green tree doesn't all that matter all that much. However, I would highly suggest getting Gifted Rider and Steed's Blessing. Uh, these two will help tremendously when you're trying to go through Cyrodiil. Now, in the blue tree, I currently have it set up like this with Exploiter because I've been playing with a group where we're always applying off balance. If you don't have someone applying off balance, you could switch it off to another defensive, or you could switch it to like Wrathful Strikes or Biting Aura. For the red tree, I am running Celerity. Even though I'm an orc, I like the more movement speed. Just being able to get out of combat is your best way of survival. Because again, with the low resources, low resistances, you are technically still squishy. You have good healing, but you will get pressured. Survival instincts, pain's refuge, sustained by suffering. Just the norm PvP setup. Um, so that's this build right here. I just went over for a more solo type of deal. I've been running Bloodspawn and Replace. I've been running with Wretched Backbar, and I'm running with DDF. And for my ultimate, I am choosing to keep Crescent Sweep over DB, just so I can have more constant uh, uptime with damage. Yes, the DB will help when you're getting outnumbered to CC them all, but I feel like this Crescent Sweep, it just hits just ever so much more than the DB. I have Temporal Guard here. You don't have to have Temporal Guard here because the only point to have it here is the minor protection, but I'm having it on just for the block. Don't need it for Temporal Guard because Templars have a passive for minor protection. And my two main skills is jabs and toppling charge, so it's redundant. Yep, and I'll just go over real quick the other two builds. Just highly, just run over them real quick. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. But these are the two sets builds I've been really enjoying recently. All right, and that's practically it.